Hey guys, Helping the Fair. Gonna be doing a reaction to Blaze and Friends Takes MLP episode 100 by Zai. I'd say their whole name, but I keep forgetting. So, yeah, looks like a long video, so I guess we just get to it. A 3, a 2, and a
Well, I guess it's time to start that Yu-Gi-Oh! Retrospect.
Oh, it's that Griffin guy. I don't remember his name. Actually, I was never told his name. Who the hell?
I got it! Zap Apple Cider!
Where's the Doctor Who's?
100th episode! Dude, not cool.
No, they're
gonna
anime.
Zap Apple Cider and get rich off it. 100th episode!
My back!
Ow.
Blaze, I'm gonna kill you!
Kill me later! 100th episode!
Dang it, what happened?
Blaze kidnapped us and is forcing us to watch the 100th episode.
I'll rip your intestines out and use them as an—
Jesus.
Remind me again why I brought over the crazy psycho mare with the magic hooves. Enough!
Who
Can
is
we
that
bitch
guy
about
anyway?
this later?
Gray hair.
Ooh, nice, Rojo.
Is he the Pegasus guy in Manhattan?
Well, no shit!
Hey look! Episode 100 of MLP! Let's watch it!
Never reacted to that one. That's way before I came into the fandom. Or I didn't become into the fandom until way later on.
Huh. So,
She's in
that
love.
was a thing.
Got me tucked.
Well, I would say that's a review worth collabing for. It's still not an excuse for pulling me out of a delicious cookie dough ice cream cake with Oreo sprinkles on top.
You were
They
just
did you
typing on
better.
your computer.
It would have gone straight to your hips.
I'm going to kill you!
You're dead.
You calling me fat?
Yeah, I love life, thank you.
It'd be kind of cool if I made an anime OC, but I'm just not an artist. Well, that kind of artist.
She turned me into a newt!
Well, that's what
Squish it.
pissing off a woman who can use dark magic.
Plus, if life has ever taught me something, it's to never call a woman fat.
Have none of you
Unless
seen
you
my
wanna get
video
kicked in
on
the
this
balls.
subject?
Whatever. I'm gonna get back into my own skin. You guys start.
Well, the premise is pretty simple for this episode. Cranky and Matilda are having a wedding, and unfortunately their wedding dates have been moved from the next day to today, while the main six are busy with the bugbear or bear wasp.
You better beware!
Ha! Found a bee joke!
I like what Ingrose called it. A bumble bear.
Lore of the Worlds! Actually, bugbears aren't an actual thing. However, they were mischief makers who were actually, well, goblins.
Right. Anyway, I kind of find it weird this is a background episode and it's based off of Cranky and Matilda's wedding of all things. Heck, even some characters of the minor class are at least here. For what reason? No one fucking knows. Hi, shining armor, you still mean nothing to me.
Go f yourself!
I think we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
These so-called background ponies were finally given a chance to shine in the spotlight, much to the joy of a certain fan of a certain pony inspired by a certain doctor.
Oh? Okay, but who's the doc?
Doctor. Dr. Hooves?
Oh, well, who's the stallion over there then?
Doc, as he's called throughout this
I've actually
episode, is a
only
scientist
seen
whose
one episode of
personality
Doctor Who, and that was
is
it.
based on
Never
the
got
Time
into it.
Lord.
Well, how can you say you don't like it if you haven't even given it a chance?
I agree with Stewie, it's not really fair.
Doctor Who. He had a
Particularly traumatic experience.
happen when he was a foal, and that event inspired him to invest his life for inventing and
You do know he's trolling us, right?
Troll-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la.
Well, I could sort of see your point in that regard. I can tell in some cases the references to the doc go from Doctor Who and Doctor Who's in some cases. Like him with Derpy, the suit, the scarf, the accent.
Don't forget that he's with Rose at the end.
Damn, you're right.
Yep. As for the references in this episode, they don't really come off to me as fan pandering in the traditional sense.
Yeah, but this is a love letter to the fans, so fan service is forgivable. But I think the ultimate problem I have with this episode is how poorly paced it is.
This is actually a pretty easy problem to fix, but I'll give an example later. Let's get back to the episode as we see Derpy's, Ditsy's... Did they ever name her in this episode?
Not officially, but the episode description called her Muffins.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, at least it's consistent.
Yeah, because they got
Please.
people
That's
that like
me
her
having the
calling
middle
her
name Cookie. Nom.
Derpy because parents thought that made her look stupid or
Cheap
something.
shot.
Or sound stupid.
Middle name. That's it! Let's call it a middle name! Derpy Muffins Hooves! It sounds stupid, but we can keep the Derpy name!
Aw, yeah, Derpy has a full name.
Anyway,
Let's talk about another couple then, shall we? Lyra and Bon Bon.
they are so
They were actually supposed to be lesbians. But
They've always been my favorite
they wouldn't
fan
allow it.
couple of the show.
There is nothing like a bad
well, Lauren Faust wanted them to be.
Shot to the heart, get no candy, no Lyra and Bon Bon for poor Blaze.
Okay.
But the shipping.
Well, we don't really see anything in the show other than Equestria Girls of something of lesbian couples.
Okay, but it was more to the point on Bon Bon's past. That comes out of left field.
Actually, I know this headcanon. You see, someone noticed that Bon Bon, aka Sweetie Drop, constantly changes her voice actor. And this is where the little headcanon was born.
How does that translate to secret agent?
Well, think about it like this. If you had the same voice for every mission, would you really have a safe secret identity? This is probably why James Bond gets captured a lot.
She could have changed her key
Every
mark,
movie.
just saying.
Burn. James
Painted it or
Bond
something.
got burned.
Anyway, I think a lot of people had
Never could
different
get it,
ideas
James Bond.
about how these characters would act. I can imagine some were keen on, while for others, they fell hard. For me, some were actually keen on. Some examples are Vinyl and Octavia, Lara and Bon Bon, except the whole secret agent thing. Seriously, who's the person who wrote a fanfiction like that? I need to punch them!
I heard they actually had a toy that was
Oh,
supposed to be
and the
Secret
document.
Agent Bon Bon before
Alright,
this
let's
ever
talk
happened.
about pacing. This episode seems to be lacking
Or
in it.
Sweet
Bam!
Drops.
Weddings today. Bam! Bon Bon's a secret agent. Bam! Bam! Steve's here!
Uh-huh. Anyway, for me, the pacing in this episode is, yes, a bit rushed, but I feel like it was trying to show some time for all the ponies. Like my personal favorite scene with Vinyl and Octavia testing out some of their music together. I thought it was perfect. But to be fair, I still hate that Steve was in this. You're pointless in the pilot and you're pointless here!
It was technically
Another country had to
episode
make him
Whatever!
a female.
Pacing for me
Because they didn't like
was
gays.
actually really good, all things considered. I tend to judge episodes that are basically fan service on a silver platter differently than normal episodes. I do wish that this episode was maybe an hour long instead of half an hour for more coverage, but for the coverage that we got, it was done really well and extremely self-aware.
And that's what I was talking about earlier, Crimson Glow.
Just so you know, I'm gonna be coming for your ass.
Dead bird, now dead man, definitely walking.
Don't remember her
We're talking
name.
about another series that reached a similar milestone, essentially the 1000th episode milestone, and is also a kid's show technically. Well, yes, in the 1000th episode of what I'm talking about, there was a ton of fan service, highlighted a lot of awesome points over the 40 years the series is based on.
No idea what he's talking about.
I swear to God, if what you're talking about is Kamen Rider,
Kamen Rider.
Ow,
Ow, ow, ow, ow, ow.
That's a big bruise.
There. Now, I'm going to untie you both, And when I do, no more fighting. Got it?
Yes, Mom.
Shut up, Blaze.
Can I at least finish my example?
Whatever. I guess it is in your name, you frickin' fanboy.
What the
What is
TARDIS would
he
you call
even dressed
yourself
as
then?
anyway?
We're talking about an
One on the
MLP
right.
episode.
Did I say this episode
trying to
was
figure that out.
perfect?
I will gut you both if you don't shut your traps.
Munch me, bitch!
Wait.
We can talk about this, really! Oh, wait, I don't think it's supposed to be that way! Oh, no!
This isn't my channel. I can curse for real! Son of a...
Yay!
You know, she's kind of hot when she's pissed.
Anyway, the 1000th episode of Kamen Rider had a lot of similar elements to the show here.
Oh,
Finding little
this is
fan
what he's
nods,
dressed
bringing
as
back
then.
monsters from previous seasons, and even had its own plots going with it. However, it was successful because it had taken episode 999 and made into a precursor. Like Crimson said, if this episode was stretched out to be an hour long or used episode 99 like that, then not only would there be more time for the characters who we've longed to see have more screen time and have a chance to grow and give fans a chance to see their theories were correct or not, but it wouldn't have felt as rushed. And there! Not even one fanboy moment.
He's become self-aware! Run!
Okay.
And like that, my happiness is a memory.
You're welcome!
Although any references that weren't in center stage didn't really get the huge part that I would have wanted, they didn't lose any luster. For example, even though I wanted to see more Button and Sweetie Belle shipping moments, and possibly some expansion on Lyra's human obsession, it wasn't missed because it had little nods here and there throughout the episode.
Then what about Gummy talking about deep stuff? Where the TARDIS did that come from?
What is life? Is it nothing more than the endless search for a cutie mark?
I remember
What
the
is a
Brownie's
cutie
reaction to
mark?
this. It was funny
But
as
a
hell.
constant reminder that we're all only one bugbear attack away from oblivion.
Deep thoughts of worry in the mind of an alligator makes Arrow happy.
It's actually really commonplace for something like that. The best example I could think of with something like this is in Bravest Warriors with the paralyzed psychic horse.
So what?
You don't think...
I wish I had the slightest clue on what you were talking about.
Oh, for the love of Luna, play the clip!
Every day I hear and I see eternity. I am frozen.
No idea what
in
that
awe
is.
Of my knowledge of forever. But I belong only to one girl. Nowhere can I see more clearly than into her heart.
Anyways, the disjointed nature of this episode could be taken as an advantage as well. After all, life isn't like a TV show where everything is perfectly scripted. Slice of Life was a great example of how erratic real life truly is in that regard.
And everyone crashing into the town hall with a single injury or even spilling the cake is like that.
Again, nothing falls
It's
unless Spike
equestrian.
is
Just roll with
directly under it.
it.
No hating on my dragon buddy!
Speaking of the wedding, anyone remember this scene?
It's alright. He always cries at weddings.
I don't think it's a typical weddings are beautiful tears.
Some characters I would love an explanation to at least how or why they are at this wedding. Like Cadence in Shining Armor and Luna and Celestia. And all the while they give poor likeness to the characters at this moment. Come on, quit crying, Shining Armor, be a man! Or Colt.
I was
Stallion.
gonna say for he was traumatized from his own wedding. Heck, we even see a changeling show up for some reason.
I want to say that it's a nod to the Changeling Rebels from fan fictions.
But it's random! Then again,
Well, we
I
all
couldn't believe he was
know,
attracted to love, but
with
it's
the
still
changeling
way out of
change,
left
yeah.
field.
You're calling an episode dedicated to random bouts of fan service out of left field?
Why are you fighting me so much?
Because I don't like your face!
Suck my dick!
If I had anything else to say about this scene that affected me, it's probably the fact that the royal sisters actually act like they have a sister relationship rather than royal at the stake
We've
of
all seen that
Equestria,
episode, the one where they actually
Hey Crimson,
fight.
Blaze say you're looking a little chunky.
Also, I forgot to turn off Discord. Crap.
Ow,
Dumbass.
coming. Ow,
Now
ow,
jump the
ow,
shark,
ow.
mother! I think we're getting way off track.
We had a set path for this review?
No, more like a set time limit. So, to sum up my opinion on this episode is really simple. I love this episode. Top 5 in my favorites this season. Though I didn't see more characters, I'm glad for what we got. The music was grand, the visuals outstanding, the speech from Mayor was inspiring to anyone listening. I think that the only thing that really bothered me about this episode was that some things weren't explained. But that might just be the beauty of this episode, considering what the core message was. As for Stephen Magnet, I don't really care about his character, but it's a nice nod to veterans, and he did show that he actually learned something from meeting Rarity.
I like this episode myself. My own personal problem being I was more awestruck by the fan service than laughing at the comedy. And even after multiple viewings, the jokes were pretty hit and miss, but I still loved how spot on the personalities of these characters were. And it really shows how much the creators of this show cared
Too bad DJ
about
Pon
their
3
fans
couldn't talk.
to go so far as to make so many fan creations canon.
Well, for someone who saw in both your points, I'd have to say this episode was average. Wait! Let me explain. When I see this episode, yes, I do see something that's been around for a long time, and we're glad to still have it to this day. And I do like the mix with giving the background ponies their time to shine in an episode. But here's the thing. It does have a bit of references everywhere that just practically scream at you. But I thought of these as opinions to the fans to like or critique on. Like how I loathe to see that sea serpent again from the first episodes, to me liking Vinyl and Octi as actual roommates. So for me, I like it, but I can still see some flaws in a way. But in a way, I still don't hate that Vinyl doesn't have a voice.
Yeah,
But,
everyone
beggars
did.
can't be choosers.
Bees!
I knew that was
Not
gonna
the
happen.
bees! I'm not a hater of this episode. In fact, I like how much exposure these characters are getting. In all honesty, it's a great episode. But the pacing is what makes it hard for me from flagging it fully. And you can say all the references about the series, but not everyone's going to get each and every reference. The overabundance of characters is also a bit of an issue, since, well, we're practically jumping all over the place. Now, this sort of style can be used effectively, but in my opinion, it's not being done fully correctly here.
In my opinion, what can save this episode from not focusing on individual background ponies is to keep these characters talking, even minorly. Have more interactions with these characters in minor parts of the season. It would certainly add more life to Ponyville, and Hasbro would have more toys to sell. It's a win-win deal!
I'm your future evil overlord, Crimson Glow, and get 100 likes on this video so I can kill these guys in Saws 2 through 4 fashion.
The hell?
I'm Manga Common, be sure to examine your fandom, but please take some time to call the authorities if you don't see a video from me within the next week or so.
I'm the Traveling Arrow. Keep traveling on, every pony. Now send us back home, you redhead. Otherwise, I'll make sure the next doctor is a ginger.
Alon Z! By the way, thanks for letting me leech off your audiences, guys.
Fuck you!
Looks like there's a kind of. Doesn't look like that. Well, that was interesting. Not sure what to say. Everyone else has their own unique style. I still wish I could Photoshop like them, so I don't have the background constantly look or making me look like a friggin' stamp. But I guess that could be my own unique style. But yeah, anyway, hope you guys liked the reaction and have a nice day.